Hello and welcome to making the combination pot part 3. So this is our last skill of the week on this particular project, and if you didn't catch the first two videos on making this, I would go back and watch those first. It is the combination pot. We are making a teapot, and what I was choosing was to make a teapot that looked like the Trojan horse. So because I'm doing the Trojan horse, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to look exactly like a horse because obviously it's way too wide to be an actual horse. But the size of the teapot is like, it would be able to contain plenty of tea that I wouldn't just get one serving out of it or something like that. So I went and put in the details that I wanted, because I said in the last video I was going to do some fine-tuning on it. I was going to carve the boards into it to make it look like it would be a real Trojan horse. And then, now today I'm going to attach the tail, and all I did was rolled a coil that's fairly large. I'm going to make it kind of a strap kind of coil, but I want it large enough to be able to support the weight of this teapot. So I'm going to hatch right here. And I really want to hatch it a lot because I really want to dig down into the surface. This is really wet clay, and I'm going to squish that in. And really, I'm going to have to probably recarve some of that, but I want to really make sure that that is attached. Okay, so then I need to make it the shape that would be easy to handle if I were to pick up this teapot and serve tea out of it. So I'm going to be making it kind of like a half of a heart, and I'm going to attach it down here at the bottom. This is going to be the tail, and yet it's going to be the handle as well. And I'm going to need to make sure I really attach it well. Now, if your clay is super dry, and you can see mine is, I'm going to need to add a little water to that. I'm going to make sure that that's not loosening up, and just kind of squish it in place. Really attach it well. And you might have to support it with something just so it stays the shape that you want, because this is a pretty big handle, and if I leave it like this, it may slump down like that, and I really don't want that kind of shape. I kind of want it this shape, and I want to widen it out a little, so I'm going to kind of flatten it, make it kind of a strap kind of shape. Just so it's easier to handle when picking it up. It's pretty soft clay, so it's wanting to slump down. So what I think I'll do is stick a chunk of clay in here just to hold it up into the shape that I want. And then I'm going to take my cleaning tool and recarve those areas that I want to still look like boards. These I can carve just with designs in it, and I'll clean that up later. You can see these little spalls coming off of the clay, and that can be taken care of later. So I can clean that off with once it's greenware, clean it with my cleaning tool. But I'm just putting a little texture in here just so it has some interest. Obviously, I don't want to make it so sharp that it's horrible to handle and I cut myself when I pick up the teapot. I just want to, since this has so much texture, I want to create some texture in this as well. And then I can recarve those areas that got kind of mangled when I was attaching my tail. Okay, so now I'm ready to make the the opening for when I need to put the water in. So I'm just going to kind of follow my boards that I have here, that I have carved on the top of my teapot, and kind of think about where the middle of the head is and carve right along this side here. And I don't want my lid to fall off when I tip my teapot up to pour, so I'm going to create a little nub over on this side. So when I come here, I'm going to carve down just a little bit, and I'll show it to you when I get it done here. But that will help keep it from sliding off. Okay, so I've got that carved out like that. And then I'm going to lift it up. Kind of clean that off a little bit. So now you can see down into the inside of my pot. Okay, hopefully I won't tip this over. Oh! Just about knocked it off of there, so I better not tip it too far. But you can see inside, and so now I'm going to attach just a little handle to this, but I'm going to smooth this a little bit. So it smooths together a little bit. Because I couldn't do that when I was attaching my coils to start building it because it was closed in. So now I can smooth all of that so it looks nice. Okay, so I'm just going to set it down here, add a little water to it, and my handle is going to go right here. So I'm just going to hatch a little bit, and it's just going to be a simple handle. It's not going to be anything elaborate. Okay. I just want to make a little, like a little half circle kind of shape. Okay, so it's going to go right here. Okay, and I'll kind of put fingerprints in it so that it feels like I could grip that pretty easily and just pluck it right off of the teapot. And then I'm just going to recarve those areas that got kind of squashed when I was smoothing things in, and place that right down in my lid. Make sure it fits, because I kind of might have stretched it out when I was picking it up. There we go. Now, hopefully this will still come out. I might need to do some adjusting with the shape a little bit. Might have to add a little rim or something like that. Because I didn't think about, I just got it kind of wet, so I might have to recut that in a couple of days. There we go. That works. And I don't want it to fall down into my pot, so I need to cut at an angle. So there is the finished product of the teapot, and it's got a nice size neck and spout so that we can pour out of it. And the opening does go all the way through, and I got a nice size handle so I could pick it up and pour it. And so it's ready to either be underglazed, or I might just fire it and glaze it all at once because I've got some nice wood grain glaze that I can use for this.